Hey, what's up? Well, making another video already. And, I told you that once I got back, I'd get back into making videos. Couldn't make them at my mom's house. And before I get started, I'd like to say that if you notice a lot of my videos disappearing, it's because I'm starting to cringe at the things I used to say. And it is to be expected that I will simply have to hide some videos to preserve my sanity. And really, if I could just hide all videos that I made in Texas before I lived here, I would probably like that better, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Not only would it be way too involved, it would basically get rid of most of what is attracting views in the first place and what used to define my channel. So, without further ado, I'd like to start out by saying, I am just so freaking glad, so glad, so glad that I did not order a replacement. Remember the Superman that was stuck in Chicago? Piece of Chicago, Illinois? Well, would you looky here? He finally came in. And, when I started seeing updates on that long-lost package that I had written off, I almost cried tears of joy. And you see what makes him special? As he's like a little Superman. He's like Superboy, and this is Superman. And I can prove that he is only about 9.5, let's say, 9.5, almost 10 inches. I don't know if you can see that. Almost 10 inches. So he's like a 1/8 scale, something like that. Or, yeah. And this is more of a 1/6. So you can tell that they're not on scale. Like, what that means is like, let's see. It would be proportional if he was more in the foreground. That's what it means. Okay, so, basically that's my Superman, and I'm still, I'm finding it hard to remember what I was thinking when I bought him. I was in a much different place, I guess, mentally, just like always, but he is slightly taller than Dr. McCoy. Okay, and I like that. His head is slightly longer, but not much wider. And that makes him a slightly better boyfriend for Kathy, who is 8 3/4 inches. So, she's about like a small skipper. But what I was really thinking is I wanted him to go with my superhero collection more than anything. Let's see, here's Power Ranger Kim from the 90s, but even though his head is small, they never had any male Power Rangers that were on their scale. They could remove their clothing. So I've always been stuck with girls only. And I never really liked that, but I bought 2 trainees. Let's see, 2 of the Asian girl at different times. One of them was nude, and I got her an outfit so that you can tell them apart, because one of them is in pink like him instead of Aisha. Yeah, that's her name. So they're about the size of Kathy, about 9 inches. And she could be Catwoman, Kathy. And here's little Dash Opar. Didn't feel the need to have a Violet. I think I did, but I sold her because I didn't like her. But I much prefer little boy superheroes. I feel like, teen girl superheroes are somewhat alright, but little girls should not dress up. Well, actually, Violet is a teenager, and that's one thing I don't like about the cartoon world, is how, when you have a brother and sister in a cartoon, they always seem to want the girl to be the older one, even if they're twins. Like on Sophia the First, Amber and James, you know, and like Phil and Lil and all that. They always want the girl to be at least slightly older, you know, like saying that she was born first, you know, by a few minutes or something. And I don't know why that is. It's like, why? You know, why would you want girls to always be the older one in the dominant role unless you're some kind of a freak, you know, like the Dan guy. So I'm not really sure. I don't understand it, you know, because I think men should be the protectors, as opposed to, you know, little brothers. But, you know, waited a long time, cried a lot of tears over this guy. And so I'm keeping him. Even if someone comes to my door and says, I want my damn money, you know, because you got your item, I'm just going to pay them. But unless they do, I'm just going to take my refund. Because I feel like all those sleepless nights were worth something. And so, you know, I might touch up his hair. I might make him a red cape. But at this point, I am just so glad to have him that I'm just not feeling too terribly motivated to even do that. I just don't really care. I'm just so glad to have him. I feel like I've been reunited, like Kevin's mom in Home Alone. My baby. And, you know, even though he's not a baby. But he's my little Superman. And I don't care how many people don't understand my feelings or agree with them. So, you know, but I really, as I start to say, I don't think little bitty girls without boobs should be superheroes, you know, simply because, well, for one thing, they should be princesses. But if a little girl were to put on a boy's Superman costume and she had short enough hair or even longer hair, well, guess what people would think she was? A little boy in need of a haircut, like me. So girls without boobs should not be made into superheroes because they just look like little boys with longer hair. So, you know, I just feel like I want to quit eBay at the moment. And I really don't want to think about it anymore. I want to put him to bed with the other superheroes. And I just want to be glad. I want to be glad, you know, that I have him and enjoy having him and not order another thing for a long, long time. You know, that bad experience on eBay just kind of makes me not want to do it anymore. But in other news, you know, January was a terrible month. And I just hope this month is better. You know, that's why I'm really getting into the heart thing. You know, I feel like things could turn around for the better or they could get even worse. But I hope they turn around for the better. And one thing I'd like to talk about, I know this video is already long. Oh, by the way, what is it? Sunday the 4th? Tomorrow is going to be Monday the 5th. You know, like that week in May of 97 began on a Thursday. So basically any month with a Tuesday the 13th is like that. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So, you know, just like May of 97, you know, the first week of May. And that's what I'm saying. I was more likely to have a cold when I was under 18 in the warmer months than I am to have one as an adult in the cooler months. And so they've gone down in frequency, severity, and duration. All three of those things have gone down in adulthood. And so, yeah, and that can't all be just decisions that I've made. You know, I'm not eating that differently than I did when I was younger. So, you know, I think my immune system truly has built up. And that's why I relate so well to Superman. I see myself as having a superior immune system. But what I want to talk about at the end of this video is, I want to talk about AI. Let's see, I was on, I was on Gmail, or yeah, I was able to access it. See, I have to use my tablet since we don't have a printer. That's another bad thing that happened. Basically, AI is very scary to me. I mean, it has gotten to the point where computers truly are smarter than humans in many ways. It's just so amazing what you can do. I mean, the artwork is just freakishly beautiful, but also freakishly imperfect. Like the fingers aren't done right, but the textures are just right. Okay? And now it's getting into, it might one day replace psychiatrists and psychologists as a profession. And I hope it does. But I asked it some questions. You know, I might post some of the art, you know, just so you can see an example of what it can do. But this is a chat with an AI bot. And they're certainly getting it to help you with packages on, you know, USPS. And I asked it a question. You know, just wanted, first I started off with something easy. I said, what is 2 plus 2? And it said, ah, that's simple. It's 4. Okay, so that was just me testing it. And then I wrote, how can I get over my 27-year obsession with a 7th grade teacher whom I haven't seen in person since '99? And here was the response, and it almost made me cry. Like it was just so beautiful. Like you could have gotten on Yahoo Answers when it existed, and a real human wouldn't give you an answer this perfect. And it says, ah, that's a tough one. I'm not a professional therapist, but I can offer some suggestions that might help. It's important to recognize that obsessions can be deeply ingrained and challenging to overcome. Here are a few ideas that might be helpful. Reflect on why you're holding on to this obsession. Is it nostalgia, unresolved feelings, or something else? I'd say unresolved feelings. Understanding your motivations can help you address the root cause. Consider seeking professional help, yada, yada, yada. They always say that. Focus on building a fulfilling life, and that's what I'm trying to do. Engage in hobbies. Nurture meaningful relationships and set personal goals. This can help shift your attention and emotional energy away from the obsession. Practice self-compassion. Acknowledge that it's okay to have feelings, but also remind yourself that it's healthy to move on. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Remember, it's a process that takes time and effort. Be patient and gentle with yourself as you work through this. Wishing you the best on your journey. Wow, that is just, oh my gosh, that is so profound. Like you would almost think a human had to be involved somehow. And then I wrote another version of it. How can I stop caring what people from my distant past are thinking about me and the silly things I did in the 90s? I was an honor student, but also a class clown because I knew I had no hope of fitting in. That's because of my real name. How can I forget the painfully embarrassing life I led in my teens and how it shaped my life in the present? Ah, I understand, they wrote. It can be challenging to shake off the memories and feelings from our past, especially when they're tied to emotions like embarrassment or a desire for acceptance. Here are some suggestions that might help you move forward. Practice self-compassion once again. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, just as you would a close friend. Remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes and that your teenage years were a time of growth and learning. Reframe your perspective instead of dwelling on the embarrassing moments. Focus on the positive aspects of your past, like being an honor student. Celebrate your strengths and accomplishments. Let go of the need for approval. Recognize that you don't need validation from people from your past. That is key. Your worth and identity come from within. Focus on the present. Direct your energy towards building a fulfilling life now. Cultivate meaningful relationships, pursue your passions, and set goals for personal growth. Consider journaling or therapy. Writing down your thoughts and feelings or speaking with a professional can help. Remember that it's a journey and it's okay to take your time. Be gentle with yourself and don't hesitate to seek support when you need it. You are more than your past experiences and you have the power to shape your present and future. Wow. I mean, you know, the fact, oh my gosh, that is just so much better than what a human would come up with, you know, like on sites like Yahoo Answers. I mean, really, you know, I mean, that bot, if that's a bot, you know, I mean, that is better, that is smarter than most humans, and it's scary. Because I mean, you have real humans that are putting like TLDR, and I had to look up what that meant. It means too long didn't read, and it's very rude. And then you have answers like that from a bot. I mean, there will be no psychiatric help in the future, you know, if computers are that smart now. Yeah, and that's just nonsense. That's the part I always brush off, is like, go get professional help. You know, I mean, here we are, you know, we have to reuse foil until we absolutely can't. But yet I'm supposed to find money for professional help. You know, I have to buy the off-brand pop, or whatever it is, you know, doesn't matter the flavor. But yet I'm supposed to cough up money for professional help about issues that pretty much nobody else has. It's certainly not the specific issues, you know what I'm saying? They might have similar issues, but, you know, as specifically as what I have pretty much narrows me down to just one person. So yeah, I'm glad I have my Superman, and I'll go ahead and post this video.